Legal team calls that search a violation of his constitutional rights, and they're demanding an evidentiary hearing. Not so fast, though. Prosecutors defend the seizure. They say the notes were obtained during a nationwide, pre-planned sweep.
Tell you the real from the front line. You know what I'm saying? It's wicked. So you be careful.
Yeah.
We can't do nothing in days. You know what I'm saying? I need you out there. You feel me?
Yeah. I hear you. Yes, sir.
This is all cap. This is cap. Now, Floyd, I don't know if Floyd Mayweather is so used to deceiving and fooling niggas that he thought he could fool the actual business insiders because a deal like this.
CNN has reportedly leaked a shocking phone call that allegedly links Floyd Mayweather to a massive $400 million tax scandal. The explosive audio, now spreading rapidly on social media, seems to capture a private conversation, tying the boxing legend to a high-stakes financial scheme involving offshore accounts, shell companies, and hidden assets. This leak not only puts Mayweather's long-standing image of financial dominance in question, but also raises serious legal and ethical concerns about how he managed his enormous wealth.
Floyd Mayweather is about to pay $2 billion to purchase a sports team and may never have to pay taxes again. The tax code offers these super wealthy so many methods to erase their income through deductions, and none is better than purchasing a sports team. Buying a sports team is like buying a unicorn real estate property. The value is always going to go up, the owner is going to make money, but on their tax return, they're going to use a strategy to report that they're losing money. See, the owner is actually allowed to write off the entire cost of the sports team against future income. This will allow Floyd to pay less in taxes. It's called amortization, which is very similar to depreciation. But if Floyd ever decides to sell the team, then the taxes will be owed. Who cares then? Because the taxes he was supposed to pay during those years, he's going to take that money, reinvest it for personal profit. See you, Floyd. Hit your boy up if you need help with taxes. My name is Duke, and I make taxes very easy to understand. Give me a follow to stay educated.
Floyd Mayweather Jr. is making a notable move in New York City's real estate market, reportedly investing $42 million into an affordable housing portfolio. The deal includes more than 60 buildings, primarily located in Upper Manhattan, with around 1,000 residential units in total.
The biggest flexer in the culture, Floyd Mayweather, would take to Instagram to announce that he just bought multifamily units in Manhattan for $400 million, all right? He would say he got 62 properties exact, took a photo op, the multifamily units is in the back, and he would say this is money out of his own pocket.
Floyd Mayweather Jr., there's a story circulating that Business Insider did talking about this $400 million property deal that he had been discussing here in New York City. But now, according to Business Insider, it's not what you think it is. They said there's no evidence there's been a sale of these properties, and it's 62 rental apartment buildings in Upper Manhattan. Here is what Floyd Mayweather had said at the time on a video that he posted on his Instagram.
I love bringing the people into my lifestyle, showing the people how I live. Now, I know you guys see me on the regular talking about real estate. Well, lately, I purchased 62 apartment buildings in New York City. And what I need you guys to do, slide over and check out the photos. It's not all 62 buildings, it's a few buildings, but guess what? All the buildings belong to me. I don't have no partners. And all the retail down low on my buildings, all belong to me.
This acquisition is set to be one of the largest multifamily real estate deals in New York in recent years. Mayweather shared that this investment carries deep personal meaning for him, as it reflects his modest upbringing and his desire to provide affordable housing. The properties are expected to benefit from Article 11 tax exemptions, helping ensure long-term affordability for the residents.
I want to talk about now, because yesterday in the New York Post, they talked about this, and I saw it on social media. I was like, I don't know, I don't believe it. But now it's like, my man, you've got a $400 million Manhattan real estate portfolio?
Not just 400 million, so it's a lot more, but that's just one of the portfolios I happen to purchase in 2024.
Wow. And that's how it's blossoming?
Well, you know, the number is growing each and every day. Like I said, the number is growing each and every day. That's one of my buildings in Manhattan. And as you can see, everything down bottom, from top to bottom I own, all the way down.
And I'm truly, truly blessed.
Yeah.
Truly, truly blessed.
You're blessed.
While Floyd Mayweather has proudly promoted his $400 million real estate venture in Manhattan, Business Insider has raised significant doubts about the legitimacy of his claims. Their investigation found little evidence to confirm that Mayweather is actually the buyer behind the massive portfolio of over 60 apartment buildings. According to real estate insiders and public property records, his direct involvement or ownership remains unverified.
Business world. A deal like this gets talked about. People know about it beforehand. It's something that really shakes up the market. So for this to happen and for nobody to know about it was very strange. And, it came across the radar of the experts and they did their digging and they found out that Floyd Mayweather is full of fish. Business Insider launched an investigation and Floyd Mayweather claims that all the buildings belong to him and he don't have any partners and he just purchased 62 rental units in Manhattan. At the end of their investigation, they would come to a conclusion that Floyd Mayweather claims do not appear to match reality. All right, they would say a month after Mayweather's announcement, none of the buildings have changed hands. So the owners of the building can be seen. Like, these is public records. They will say, according to New York City property records, which are usually updated within days of a sale. Several experts says a deal to sell the properties outright to Mayweather does not seem imminent. Now, here's where the funny business starts. You see how Mayweather said he owns all the properties, he have no partners, right? So he got tipped off that Business Insider was doing an investigation.
It appears that Mayweather might be overstating or misrepresenting his involvement in the real estate deal to uphold his image as a wealthy business mogul. Financial experts point out that transactions of this size are usually carried out by institutional investors or development firms, not individual buyers. Without solid documentation, the growing skepticism raises important questions about Mayweather's actual financial position, whether his lavish lifestyle is truly backed by real assets or carefully managed public relations. For now, the truth behind the $400 million claim remains unclear, and public scrutiny continues to intensify.
Floyd Mayweather Jr., there's a story circulating that Business Insider did talking about this $400 million property deal that he had been discussing here in New York City. But now, according to Business Insider, it's not what you think it is. They said there's no evidence there's been a sale of these properties, and it's 62 rental apartment buildings in Upper Manhattan. Here is what Floyd Mayweather had said at the time on a video that he posted on his Instagram.
I love bringing the people into my lifestyle, showing the people how I live. Now, I know you guys see me on the regular talking about real estate. Well, lately, I purchased 62 apartment buildings in New York City. And what I need you guys to do, slide over and check out the photos. It's not all 62 buildings, it's a few buildings, but guess what? All the buildings belong to me. I don't have no partners. And all the retail down low on my buildings all belong to me. Guess what? You can do the same.
All right. Well, now we're trying to figure out what happened, right, with Business Insider. So according to another update, he did ink a $402 million deal for a Black Spruce portfolio. When he said that it was all his and no one invested, he meant no one was funding his part of the investment but him. And so I think this is something where maybe he owns a piece of this or shares in it, but it hasn't changed hands because the majority owner is still the same owner that it was before. I'm trying to understand what happened with this, but I know there's a story that's circulating, so just putting it out there. Whew, it's a tough one. I'm trying to understand as a real estate person myself what exactly he is communicating when he's saying that he owns this, because they're trying to make it seem like he doesn't, but what it seems like is that he owns shares of these buildings, and it's a larger, it's part of an investment that he did on his own.
Adding to the growing doubts, a member of Floyd Mayweather's team, speaking off the record, revealed that there's no known investment partner tied to the alleged Manhattan real estate deal. This statement contradicted speculation that Mayweather might be involved in a joint venture or acting as a silent partner with a larger firm. Instead, they claimed that Floyd is presenting himself as the sole buyer, despite the scale of the transaction, something that has raised serious questions within real estate circles.
So a member of his team spoke off the record, and they actually try to modify the story a little bit to get ahead of it. So it went from we own all the buildings with no partners to now their story is changing up a little bit. Oh, they reached out to the Housing Partnership, a spokesperson. Now, the Housing Partnership of NYC is a nonprofit group that is a partner in a majority of these like really huge like property deals. And it helps, the person buying it to qualify for tax breaks and grants and preserve the affordability of the portfolio apartments, right? If you're buying, affordable housing, then you're gonna go through the NYC Housing Partnership. That never happened, okay? So the spokesperson says the Housing Partnership has not been advised of any sale, pending sale, or change in ownership. Generally, the partnership will be advised of the transfer and will be party to the transfer. That has not occurred. A person directly, now here's where Mayweather get on that BS, bruh. All right, here's where the shady business starts. A person directly involved in the deal with Mayweather said that Mayweather had purchased a small minority ownership interest in the portfolio with options to expand that stake over time or acquire the buildings in their entirety. It is not clear if Mayweather will exercise those options. The person asked to remain anonymous to speak about a confidential arrangement with Mayweather. So off the rip, he lied, right? He misrepresented it to come across as if he owns 62 units, is a $400 million deal. I have no partners.
The insider's remarks have only deepened concerns about the legitimacy of the deal, especially given the absence of official documents or third-party verification. If true, it could suggest that Mayweather is either greatly exaggerating his role or potentially engaged in a complex shell structure that hasn't yet come to light. His affordable housing investment has also prompted speculation that it may serve as a tax strategy. Notably, some of these properties benefit from Article 11 tax exemptions, which can provide up to 40 years of tax relief for affordable housing projects in New York City. These exemptions are intended to encourage investment in and maintenance of affordable housing by significantly lowering property taxes, potentially offering investors like Mayweather substantial long-term savings and increased profitability.
That's going to be their future, etc. But real estate is a great opportunity for them to, move forward, show that they've been successful in something, have that piece to stand on.
I don't know if you've seen the recent videos with Floyd Mayweather. Have you seen this where he's walking down the streets in, I think it's Brooklyn or New York, and he's doing it very softly, like, yeah, I own this whole building. Like, he owns blocks, right? So he's done a nice job with transitioning into real estate as well.
Yeah, he's made a lot of money in real estate, and all kind of as not flashy real estate. But generally speaking, buying, simple working class apartments and holding them for, 10 years. And, that's kind of the big piece of real estate is they just always go up a little bit, and sometimes they go up a lot, but they're headed up in general because of inflation. Effectively, everyone living there is paying you 20 to 30% of their income to rent from you. And, so it's a great long-term asset to hold.
And it's not always about, this term, what you make, but it's what you keep. That really